Okay, so in the previous video, I talked about what causes the trigonometric ratios to be negative sometimes. When the angles become more than 90 degrees, or pi halves radians, then we have to think about the sine, S-I-G-N, of the opposite and adjacent side of the triangle created by the reference angle. So suppose we want to find let's just start in the first quadrant. Let's just say we want to find the sine of pi sixths. Okay, well, let's draw that angle. So pi sixths is a 30-degree reference angle in the first quadrant. So here is our angle of pi sixths. Since this is a 30, 60, 90 right triangle, we know the ratios of the side lengths of that triangle are 1, square root of 3, and 2. So the sine of this pi sixths angle, and just for emphasis, I'm going to make them red. The sine of that pi sixths angle is the opposite side over the hypotenuse, so that is 1/2. And we could find the cosine or the tangent or any other ratio, any of the 6 ratios using this picture here. Now, suppose we want the cosine of 2 pi thirds. And again, I'm going to color the angle, pull out a coordinate plane, and 2 pi thirds, we have to know where the terminal side of 2 pi thirds is. Here's the angle, 2 pi thirds. But we need a triangle. The triangle is created by dropping a vertical line to the x-axis, and we use this reference angle here of 60 degrees. We have a 60-degree reference angle, so we have the same 30, 60, 90 right triangle with the side length ratios 1, square root of 3, and 2. But now, since we're in the second quadrant, we have to apply SIGN, sine, to the adjacent side and the opposite side from this reference angle. Since the adjacent side is like an x-coordinate going to the left, that's negative. The opposite side is positive because it's going up. So the cosine of this angle is so adjacent over hypotenuse, it's negative 1/2. Okay, suppose we go into the third quadrant with the angle, let's say 5 pi fourths. Okay, and let's find the tangent of that angle this time. So 5 pi fourths is a third quadrant terminal side with a reference angle of 45 degrees. So here's the angle. The angle sweeps all the way around. There is the angle, 5 pi fourths. We want to know what the tangent of that angle is. We create a triangle using that reference angle. And so now here we have an isosceles right triangle, so the side length ratios are 1, 1, and root 2. Since the adjacent side, this is the reference angle, which opposite and adjacent are always with respect to the reference angle. Since that one is to the left, it's negative, and since this one is down, it's also negative. So the tangent of 5 pi fourths is negative 1 over negative 1, positive 1. And we could do the same thing in the fourth quadrant with a fourth quadrant angle. Just create the reference angle, and from the reference angle you can create a triangle and use the opposite over adjacent. And this avoids the necessity of memorizing the evil unit circle.